Hi, everyone. I'm here today with Ricky Timms. We are so
Woohoo!
excited to be. We really are, Ricky.
Well, I'm excited. This is the first time I've taught in 18 months, and I taught in Houston 2019, and then I kind of had my months off and was all
Yeah,
ready for 2020, and
I
everything,
know.
of course, went. So I'm
Right.
excited to be
Yeah.
teaching in person. So it's great to be
Oh,
here.
wasn't it? This is the end of the day. Ricky has been with hundreds of people today. Well, over 100,
Yep.
which is just amazing. And what we've done, we're in a big event center. We have this new Bernina 720 that I guess we are the only ones that have it. It was a machine that was developed in Switzerland that I fell in love with because it has a 5.5 and that wonderful oscillating hook with the great big bobbin. And I do all my piecing in here. And we were doing your razzle dazzle thread things,
Yeah, I've
which
got
I
this
think,
over here, which
yeah.
is wonderful razzle dazzle done in the bobbin. So working from this side, but then it turns out on this side, and it's great for the bobbin. But the crazy thing is, I'm just gonna jump to the
Yeah,
thing.
go on.
You've got amazing specials. The people that are here are getting those as specials. How
Right.
long do they last? The
Well,
specials?
your coupon was almost a 30-day. I can't do that special that
Yeah.
long, but we probably could do it for a week. I think.
Okay,
I
so
think that
so the
will be.
people that are here are getting these deals, and if you're not here to my event because it was sold out,
Mhm,
then get over to the shop now.
mhm.
And it's not just this machine that's got
No,
specials.
right.
I'm seriously. I was listening to Linda today talk about them. I've never ever seen such crazy off,
Yeah,
number
well, you know
percentage
why?
off.
It's our first big event back after we're getting back into normal. I personally piece with this 720. I have other Berninas that I absolutely love, but the piecing on this machine is to die for. Plus, if you did want to add an embroidery unit to do your labels or to do any in the hoop quilting, you could do that later. It has all the stitches necessary to be built in. It's got the big bed so you can do all your free motion that you want to do. So it's just a beautiful machine. And I'm holding this because I know we were going to talk about machines, but I love this book. I
Thank
just
you.
love it.
Thank
And I
you.
have to tell them a story about a lady that I know who is quilting with her grandchildren. She has 8 or 9, I believe, that she's done. And she's been quilting with them. Every single child that's made this quilt gets one of these
Oh,
books
that's
along
awesome.
with the
That's
quilt.
awesome. So
Yeah.
this is Lizzy Albright in the Attic Window. It's a fiction novel. It's a fantasy fiction novel. It's
Yeah.
middle grade, but it's like Harry Potter, which means it's middle grade, but it really appeals to a wide audience.
Yeah.
And Lizzie discovers a quilt, goes on a fantastic journey. It's a
I
little bit
love
of
it.
Wizard of Oz meets Harry Potter meets Alice in Wonderland. So you all need to get a copy and get your kids involved too.
Yeah. So we
Yeah.
hope to see you soon. Give us a call, Ricky. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a ball. It
It's
really
so great
has.
to be here.
Okay.
Been
Thanks,
super great.
everyone.
There, sitting just outside the window on the overhang of the roof, was a goose. Tap, tap, tap. Oh no, said Lizzie, it's my goose. The poor thing didn't find its family. He needs help. McDougal started jumping up and down, running in circles and barking. Tap, tap, tap. Lizzie needed to get closer to make sure her eyes were not playing tricks on her. She crawled up on top of the cedar chest, cupped her hands around her face, and peered through the window pane. Indeed, it was a goose, and now they were eye to eye. Tap, tap, tap. This time, the tapping was so close to her face and so unexpected, it made her jump. McDoo, what can we do? We have to help it. Look at all the snow outside. We have to let it in. McDougal barked in agreement. Lizzie found the window latch and switched it to the unlocked position. She pulled the handle, but the window wouldn't budge. The window is stuck, cried Lizzie. Try again. Lizzie gripped the handle as hard as she could and pulled. It won't open. It's really stuck. It's not stuck. You just have to open it. Lizzie took a deep breath, gritted her teeth, and yanked as hard as she could. The window flew open with such ease that she fell backward and toppled off the cedar chest. A blast of frigid, howling wind shot through the window, sending swirls of snow flying into the room. Lizzie climbed back onto the top of the cedar chest, and the goose stuck its head through the window. I told you it wasn't stuck. Lizzie's eyes nearly popped out of her head, and her jaw almost dropped to the floor. She wasn't sure if she really heard what she thought she heard. Baffled and stunned, she said, "Did you say something?" "The window. I told you it wasn't really stuck." The winter's storm, blustery winds forced more snow through the window. Lizzy was astonished that she could understand what the goose had said. She was at a total loss for what to say or do, so she just stood there looking at the goose, frozen. "Gruff, pardon me, lass, but maybe you should be asking Mrs. Goose if she's lost, or if she's needing any assistance." Lizzy instantly looked down to McDougal and then around the room to see who said this. She didn't see anyone, so she looked back to the floor where McDougal was sitting, wagging his tail and looking directly at her. "McDougal, did you just say something?" "There's a goose peeking through the window, lass. Did you open the window and let your manners go blowing away on the wind?" chastised McDougal. This was unreal. There were now two animals talking to her, and she understood both of them. It was a fact she was trying very hard to deny, and it made her think she must be dreaming. But what she couldn't deny was the biting, bitter wind and snow. It was very cold and very real. "Lizzy, my name's Greta," said the goose. Lizzy looked back to the window, too stunned to even acknowledge the goose knew her name. "Are you lost? Can I help you?" asked Lizzy. "No, I'm not at all lost," replied Greta. "But yes, you can most certainly help me. We are in desperate need of your help." A gust of wind swooshed through the window, causing a lamp to crash to the floor. "You talk people talk?" Lizzy raised her voice in order to be heard above the gale. More snow ushered in through the window. "Yes, of course. Or maybe you speak animal talk. Whichever it is, it's not important right now. You must come with me, princess. Time is running out, and we desperately need your help." "Princess?" Lizzy looked around the attic again to see who Greta must be talking to. "Are you talking to me?" Lizzy was having to shout above the blustering gusts. "I'm not a princess. What do you mean, come with you? How? Why? Who are you?" Lizzy was riddling Greta with questions. "I'll explain everything soon, but we must be on our way. The entire kingdom is depending on you, and time is of the essence. We've been looking for you for a very long time. Please, come with me. I promise you'll be safe." The wind was becoming more fierce. The door to the attic slammed shut. Snow was building up on top of the cedar chest and drifting onto the floor. Lizzy's hair was starting to freeze from blowing snow, and the icy wind and sleet were beginning to burn her face. She was so miserable that she felt that she needed to shut the window, or she would surely die. "Please don't shut the window," pleaded Greta, as if somehow she knew what Lizzy was thinking. "It's cold inside, but it's wonderful out here. Climb out the window. Get on my back. Come with me," shouted Greta. "What do you mean, get on your back? I'm a girl. You're a goose. I'm too big." The wind blew her words back into her mouth so that they couldn't escape. "Princess, please hurry. It will all make sense soon." "Lass, wouldn't you go if I were to go with ye? I'll be putting up me mitts if anyone were to try to bring ye any harm." The force of the wind blew the outer window open and brought twice as much snow into the attic. It swirled with such vigor that the room began to look like a snow globe. McDougal raced to pull the red cloak from the hat rack where Lizzy had left it. "You might be a needing this to keep you warm." She wrapped the cloak around her shoulders and fastened the collar. The cloak warmed her slightly, which calmed her a bit. "I'll get in trouble. This is crazy," Lizzy thought. The force of the wind caused the tails of the cloak to fly up and flap and flutter. She couldn't stand the wind and ice any longer. Lizzy looked back over her shoulder, saw that the entire attic was now filled with snow. She could only see the very top of the old divan. The cedar chest was completely hidden. The snowdrift was pressing up against the door, holding it shut. "I promise you'll be safe. Take a leap of faith, princess." "I'm right behind you, lassie." Lizzy began to crawl out the window. She hoisted herself up one leg at a time through the window and sat on the sill. "Get on my back," Greta was shouting, but the wind was roaring so loudly that Lizzy couldn't understand her plea. "What?" asked Lizzy. "I can't hear you." Lizzy held tight. She could no longer hear nor see. Her hair was whipping in every direction. Pelting ice forced her eyes shut. The wind was now so fierce and loud that it almost blew her back into the attic. Jump! McDougal barked at Lizzy from behind. Jump! She heard McDougal, and without thinking, she pushed herself up and leapt blindly out into the storm. Her arms were flailing, and she felt herself sliding down the roof. She screamed. She was falling. She kept on screaming. She kept on falling. She felt a hint of warmth on her face and was finally able to open her eyes. But she wasn't falling. She was flying. Lizzy found herself nestled into the soft, warm feathers of Greta's back, with McDougal snuggled under her arm.